back to my channel. Today I'm doing kind of a wig review and kind of a comparison of two different styles today. I am talking about Simmer Elite, which I believe is probably one of the most popular wigs on the market today and has been for many, many years. I am currently wearing on my head Simmer Elite Petite in Iced Pumpkin Spice. And although I love so many things about this wig, there is one really big thing that I dislike. And in fact, I may not be doing any more reviews for Raquel Welch's True to Life fibers because the fibers are a big fail for me. So I'm going to be talking all about Simmer Elite as well as a wig that is newer from Belle Tress Icons collection, Bradshaw, in the color Mixed Berry. And we're going to look at these two styles side by side, and I'm going to talk about how the fibers wear on each one as well. So I've really been on the search for a Simmer Elite dupe, and I think I might have found something pretty darn close. Let's take a look at both of these styles. As always, please, please, please subscribe to my channel. Click that bell, give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to check out the retailer for our Belle Tress store in the description, Locks and Tops. She's amazing, the owner Karen, and she really works so hard to give the absolute best prices every day. Right now, we're talking about Simmer Elite versus Bradshaw from Belle Tress Icons. Let's get started. Simmer Elite, and she is one of my favorite wigs. I absolutely love this wig. I've worn this wig probably 10 to 12 times. However, the biggest issue I have with Simmer Elite are the fibers. When I wear Simmer Elite, I get very, very tangled fibers at the nape, and I don't mean a little bit. I'm talking about practically a rat's nest. Now, you guys know that I'm all about transparency and keeping it real. I love everything about this wig except the way the fibers tangle at the nape. They tangle horribly. I have worked with a lot of Raquel Welch wigs. I've reviewed Selfie Mode and I've reviewed Mesmerized and lots of the longer wigs, and this wig isn't even very long. When I wore Selfie Mode for a review, it was tangled just from wearing it for a 20-minute time frame. So when I tell you that as much as I love the way Raquel Welch wigs look, the colors, the fit, I just don't think that I can invest in their wigs with True to Life fibers any longer. Now, I don't know anything about the feather light fibers except they claim that they're so much lighter, which I do think is a marketing gimmick, as I've said in my Waves and Raves review. I wonder though if those fibers wear any better over, a longer period of time. And I don't know that because I haven't worn one for a long period of time. This is the only wig from Raquel Welch that goes past the nape that I've worn for any extended amount of time. First, I want to start off by looking at the beautiful Simmer from all sides. She's absolutely beautiful. This is an Iced Pumpkin Spice. You'll notice she just isn't that long in the back. Gorgeous hairline with those lighter hairs up front. Beautiful plucked part, full mono top. Absolutely beautiful wig. We talk about the dimensions on Simmer Elite. It measures 11.5 in the front, the longest length. It goes a little bit shorter on the sides with some 9-inch layering. The back is 10.5, so it's about an inch shorter than the front with a 6-inch nape, and it weighs 4.5 ounces. The beautiful color, Shaded Iced Pumpkin Spice, is a very subdued red. It is definitely not a vibrant. I love vibrant reds, but this is the closest I can get to a red in Raquel Welch because they really don't make vibrant reds. So this color, Iced Pumpkin Spice, Shaded Iced Pumpkin Spice, is described as a dark red-brown base, which I would agree with, and strawberry blonde highlights and a medium root. And I would definitely agree with that assessment. It is definitely more of a brownish, blondish look. It is not vibrant. It is very mellow and subdued, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful color. It's just not as, fiery as I like. I'm an Irish red kind of girl. However, I love the wig so much that I've adapted to the color. So when I wear this wig, I've worn it for 8 to 9 hours at a time, and I have detangled her at the moment, but when I wear it, it gets big tangles at the nape, big tangles at the nape. Okay, and like I said, I've only worn it a few times. The curl pattern is so perfect on this wig. The slight angle is so perfect on this wig. That is why I've been on the hunt to find the Simmer Elite dupe from another brand from another brand with better fibers. Now I'm going to show you Bradshaw from the Icon collection of Belle Tress. It is not an exact dupe. It is a little bit longer and it has a side swept bang, but it is very similar. I'm going to take this one off and now show you Bradshaw. And a little bit later, I'm going to show you a split video side by side. Despite this wig being slightly longer in length than Simmer Elite, sorry, I have a hair. If you were to blink your eyes real quick, you probably would think I'm still wearing the same wig. Now, sorry, I have a flyaway. Now, when we look at the colors, they are very, very similar. This is Mixed Berry R. Now, the difference, according to Belle Tress, between Mixed Berry R and Simmer Elite, look how similar those are, is these lighter pieces. Now, this is not like a heavily highlighted piece, but it does have lighter pieces up at the front, and it has a little bit more, you know, a little bit of those lighter blonde, strawberry blonde going through it. Mixed Berry R from the Belle Tress Icons collection is described as deep red and auburn tones with brown roots. So notice the difference. It doesn't talk about strawberry blonde or any kind of light colors, but the colors, my goodness, they are almost identical, including the root. So I'm going to show you the beautiful Bradshaw from all sides. And again, I'm going to show these split screens side by side in just a little bit. Isn't she beautiful? Now, if you really dissect the two wigs, they are not identical. The curl pattern is a little bit different on Bradshaw, but pretty darn similar. Now, Bradshaw has these little side swept bangs right here that are actually, and this is why we watch I cannot speak today, wig reviews. These side swept bangs are not listed in the dimensions for the wig. And I find that a lot. I find that, now I have my wispies again. I find a lot that when I look at descriptions, they're missing measurements. So Bradshaw is described as 13 to 13.5 overall, with 12.5 on the side and a 6.5 to 7-inch nape. But notice, even though it's longer, it weighs less than the Simmer Elite at only 4 ounces. So it's 0.5 ounces lighter, and it's a little bit longer in the back. So the nape is 6.5 to 7, whereas with Simmer Elite, it's 6 on the nape. Now here's where we get into not all fibers are created equal. I've worn both these wigs for extended periods of time. I wear them to work. I wore this wig for 8 to 9 hours as well, and it barely tangled at all. Barely. In fact, the tangling was so minimal, I could get it out with my fingers, and when the day was over, there was no tangling and no damage to the fibers. So that is why I am on the search for this dupe, and I think I've come pretty darn close. Belle Tress fibers are hands and above, legions above in quality to the true to life Raquel Welch fibers. I'm not sitting here trying to bash Raquel Welch. I'm not trying to put them out of business, and my little channel's not going to do that anyway. I'm just trying to keep it real. Raquel Welch fibers are not, they're not fibers to easily maintain. You have to do a lot of work if you're going to wear a Raquel Welch wig that goes anywhere past your nape. Simmer Elite is actually shorter than Bradshaw and tangles 10 times more when wearing her. So that is super important to note. Now, when I talk about the description on Bradshaw, these side swept bangs are not in the description. And I would say I have a 7.5-inch face. So I'm going to say these are about 7 inches on the side swept bangs. The other thing to note is the hairline is beautiful, but they do not have any light hair at the front, which these knots are so well done and small. I think it's fine. And I think that the hairline is definitely sufficient for someone as picky as I am. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about is a few differences in the caps, but they are both hand-tied caps and petite. Both are petite and both are hand-tied caps. The Simmer Elite Petite and the Icons run petite. So both of these are petite to average. I'm going to take off this cap and I'm going to show you both caps, and we're going to talk about the differences. With all my wigs, I always put scar tape and powder on them if they're ones that I've worn. So you will see this is Simmer Elite and this is Bradshaw. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is the monotop is different. So the monotop, this is a true monotop, and this is a hand-tied top. So the knots are just a little bit bigger on this one because it's a hand-tied top versus a mono, but they are very, very small and well done. The other thing you'll notice is the difference in the ear tabs. This one has your felt and this one has silicone, and both are hand-tied, fully hand-tied caps with a little bit of wefting towards the back, but they're hand-tied wefts. Very similar napes, and look how close these colors are. But see, when they're inside out, you notice how much shorter Simmer is in the back. Simmer really does angle down a bit, which I really like, and Bradshaw doesn't angle as much, and it's longer. Just to show you the hand-tied top on the Bradshaw, the knots are a little more visible, but this has scar tape and powder, and seriously, I think it looks really, really good. Unless you are right up in someone's face, nobody is going to notice that. I think it looks fabulous. Okay, I'm going to show you some side-by-side videos now of Bradshaw versus Simmer, both in indoor light, natural, standing in front of my window, and outdoor light. So you're going to look at both of those so you can see them side by side. As far as cap fit, I'm a 21.5 circumference, and both of these wigs fit me like a dream. Simmer Elite Petite and Bradshaw from the Icons of Belle Tress. Both caps are hand-tied, and they are so comfortable and such a perfect fit. All of the Icons from the Icon collection of Belle Tress fit petite to average, which is super excited for somebody like me because this is really their first line of petite to average caps in hand tied that I've ever seen from Belle Tress. So, you know, the Luxe and the SE Luxe are just way too big for my head. This fits me like a dream, so does Simmer, but when it comes to which one I'm going to pick, it is an easy pick for me because Belle Tress has the fibers that are gonna hold up better over time and not tangle as much. And as far as the True to Life fibers, I just cannot handle how quickly they tangle and how quickly they need heat. It's just way too much maintenance for this girl here. I am still gonna be looking for other Simmer dupes because I love Simmer. And although Bradshaw's not a perfect dupe, it's very, very close. It's not quite as angled and it's a little bit longer and the curl pattern is not identical, but this is the closest one I found so far to Simmer. But I'm still hunting, y'all. I'm hunting for a Belle Tress Simmer dupe, and I will keep you all posted and informed. And for now, Bradshaw is gonna do nicely. I hope you enjoyed this comparison and review of both of these beautiful wigs. Again, don't forget to check out the retailer in the description, Locks and Tops, and I will see you all at the next one.